This is my work. This is a playground for you slaves who ain't going to become nothing. Like, this is my work when I come here. You think I want your goofy bitch ass with all your fucking Photoshop pictures and your ass and titties and all the rest of it, and your hey Paulie boy, I love you, and dick teasing and all the rest of the garbage you do here and behind the scenes that people don't know about? I'm not into it. And I see you for who and what you are, and I don't respect it. And when I push the button and you go running to all the places that want to hate me and undo me, that lie regularly and are deviant and miscreant and violent, at least in threats of that, and want to strike channels and all the rest, you ain't shit. And I just proved it with one action. That's the difference. A real bitch, I'm just saying that for whatever, a real woman, I could push that button all day and she'll say, you know what? You could do whatever you want to do. And I think you're doing this, this, and this. And I ain't going to sink to your level if I'm doing whatever I'm doing and I'm not supposed to. And she'll say, I'm going to go off and do me now. I don't give a fuck about none of that. You broken hoe, codependent, dirty bitches start running to 5 different panels to play power game. That's how I know I can't fuck with you long term in reality, because you'll do the same thing when we all get locked up and we got to go to court. And it ain't pretty for you. That's the difference between you and Jennifer. Write it down. That's why I'm fucking with her all the way and the long way and every way, and not you. Write it down. That's the reason you're alone in your life and ain't got a real man in your life who's about some. Write it the fuck down. Don't make this about me and you on panels and in chat boxes. Make this about the psychology and the sociology, the spiritual faith, the relationships or lack thereof. You'll get further in life. Can't fix stupid. Can't save the unwilling. Your thoughts, gentlemen?
Hey, what's up, Paul? This is Gabriel. I heard you speaking. Sir? Nice to meet you, sir. I'm good. Top of the morning. You heard you speaking last week on your live about creating channels and consciousness flowing through that, and I wanted to ask you about something about that. These channels that you were referring to, are you referring to like the programs that make us who we are and sets our personality on default?
Yeah,
like
you could say that.
Yeah.
You could say that the thought forms, yeah. You know, the emotional energy and motion forms, I guess, that kind of rise and fall or express themselves. This guy's short bill. Well, whatever. We'll get to that. You're throwing me off there, kid. I appreciate you, right? Yeah.
We will continue to put Snafu in his place.
You drinking again, Goblin? That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, okay. All right. Oh man. This is my life. You were saying, Gabriel. The thought forms, the energy and motion forms, the beliefs about self and the world and how those interact or lack thereof. And then the persona, the mask, or the real self-identity or sense of self that creates or lack thereof. Yes, This is the main thing of like what I'm into, like whether I'm good at it or understand it completely or not. It's like what kind of inspires me, what excites me, what drives me at the core, among other things.
Yeah, because I that's what kind of attracted me to some of the stuff you say. Like you say, I am the I am, and it reminds you just mentioned persona, and it reminds me of like the persona and the mask. I think that's what the Greeks used to call it. Right. And I'm trying to figure out like what's behind that mask.
Well, that's the thing.
Is that spirit? What's the difference between spirit and soul? Like, all that stuff is really intriguing.
Yeah, I mean, these might be different terminologies for the same thing or the same idea. But there's an animating, inhabiting force, right? I guess you can call it consciousness or an awareness that you can argue, if not physically, we are made in the image of the Most High, because you can argue the Most High is not a someone, it's a something, right? So pure conscious and awareness is the closest thing in human form to God-like, made in the image of the Most High. The more conscious and aware you are, the more understanding you have, the more control you have over yourself and your environment, either directly or indirectly, right? So, when we talk persona, personality, beliefs, and sort of the extension of actions and inactions and what that creates here, versus, as you say, what's behind the mask, or what is the animating force, what is the uh, state of beingness of pure conscious and awareness, as it relates to cause and effect versus what it feels like. Because I've been out of my body, or at least I've hallucinated that, whatever that means. And there's a clear difference in conscious and awareness. When you're pure spirit, as you said, or pure consciousness, there is no burden of emotions. There's just only recognition of what is. When you come back to body, you feel gravity and you feel emotions and you feel weighed down and burdened. It's not the same. Right. So that's what I suspect enlightenment is the actual lightening of the load when you attain a space of pure conscious and awareness, which can only really be done without a body, in my experience. And if you come back to body, there's always going to be some gravitational pull, some push pull, some kind of force, some energy in motion. To me, it's almost impossible to not have that as a quality of the experience at times. I think the key is, once you recognize pure conscious and awareness is weightless and essentially limitless, you can incorporate that into your day-to-day experience of having a body and using it, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir.
Don't go through life sorry. It's no way to live.
You're right. Yeah, absolutely. This is maybe why people like chase things, try to escape the body, like through, the big push. It's like psychedelics, and even I heard you mention before, I think you said that you used to use heroin and stuff, and because it gets you out of your body, and it's like an artificial form of weightlessness, but it's not sustainable, right? It's not sustainable because you're saying that like the key is to kind of like integrate that weightlessness and like into every day, off natty, I guess.
Right. I mean, I don't believe in using drugs as an escapist technique. My use of these mind-altering substances at times are, in fact, to reflect and to reintegrate a more holistic self. So like if you were to, I don't choose to see it as a problem. I choose to see it as a default state of expression. So for me, I may be a bit too grounded. So I may benefit from, imbibing in these things at times and stepping back from my in the world and of it perspective to kind of see the bigger picture. Now, obviously, consciousness and awareness and self can do whatever these chemicals can do. The point is, are we learned and practiced enough to employ that when it's necessary or proper, right? So it's a practice like anything else. But I don't necessarily pigeonhole folks. While most folks, I think, are doing that, whether they're aware of it or not, I'm not going to pigeonhole everybody to one experience when it comes to experiencing these plants and these herbs, right? I think that they're tools if you let it be. I think that they're modalities of escapism and delusion if you let them be. It's really just about your self-awareness and consciousness, once again, an ability to reflect on self and your life and the cause and effect.
Right. Yeah, because there's been so many times like where I've been high in the past, and I think, and now I don't do that for various reasons, but I think I can kind of almost go there.
Can I stop you for a second?
I'm sorry.
I'm just kind of curious.
I mean, excuse me.
Is. I'm just kind of curious what this is, and I'm not gonna like take a mode at this time of sort of interrogatory more than just like questioning, because this is. Like, you have to understand, I'm talking to someone in chat right now, this Liliana person, and this is why I don't really like when you folks restream me, although I do advocate for that in my banner. I oftentimes don't like the experience, because what happens is you bring in folks who I can't block from the chat, who have a habit of being different people, different places at different times, and that's not the energy and the consciousness I want around me to do fellowship. I don't want fake, ungrounded, inauthentic people around me to distort the energy and the transmission. And then you guys can't seem to understand why I don't like that and why I don't want that. And I can't understand that either. So like this Liliana person is constantly in the other chat earlier today, harping on me, shitting on me, saying I'm a bad, evil person. Why won't I get thrown off panel? Why won't everyone mute me? She hates my voice. Yet here she is like so many before and so many after, can't pull herself away from what I'm doing here. That doesn't have to include her. She wants me thrown out of other venues and muted and stopped speaking and taken power over and censored, then comes to my area to watch and listen. Is that not dysfunctional and bizarre?
It is dysfunctional, Paul, and you will continue to have this same experience over and over because more people are coming to the truth, right? And so now that the truth has gone mainstream,
Who's live
Yeah,
streaming?
I'm not denying that, Goblin. The point is, we're not coming to the truth if we're going to sit here right now and pretend that didn't just happen and do the Talcott acid trip where the past doesn't exist because we're in the now, every now and now and now. So I can rape you right now, but then it doesn't matter right now. That's not how life works. So we're going to like coming to the truth means I was being a dumb hoe, for lack of a better term. I could use more savory terms, but I'm going to choose not to right now because we're doing trigger therapy, trigonometry. I was being a dumb hoe earlier. I was playing fucking power games because I have self issues. And rather than me decide to check that and work through that or discuss that in a proper manner, I decided to censor and ban and rile people up and try to incite a riot, essentially, because that's what all you collectivized groupthink slaves do, is you appeal to emotion and false authority and try to get other people to join with you to have loss, injury, and harm happen. And that's why I don't want to be part of you guys' experience, because I'm the antithesis of that. I don't need that, as you see here in many other places. The weak need that. So don't pray for me. I'm not a victim. Pray for the weak, like that woman in chat who can't deal with reality and the sound of my voice and the truth without having to have some false, illusory, power-hungry coping mechanism to interfere with the reality and life on life's terms. How about you just get comfortable with the uncomfortable and grow and learn and become and do better? An option.
It's the best option. You got to be real with yourself. You can't help it.
There you go. There you go. You can't ignore it. Your problem, not mine. That's not how that works.
It's your problem.
That's the thing. But she's now, this is why I can't have you here, because you're going to double and triple down. You're going to gaslight me and then call me a narcissist, where whenever I talk about you and am critical, in truth, I'm a bad man and I'm bullying you. You can do it from the chat box, make false claims and lies, and advocate that I be silenced and harmed, essentially, or have a loss of rights, right? And I should just get over it. That's double standard. That's duplicitous and disingenuous. You want to treat people however you want, and then don't expect to have the same treatment back.
We can
and that's inequity.
That's
Goblin, please.
Rainbow on it. Yeah.
Goblin, please help me out here. That's inequitous. This is why I study law and you don't. Because you don't understand trust and how to build it. You don't understand equity and how to come with it and receive it. Then, when you're untrustworthy and inequitous and people treat you like the untrustworthy, inequitous slime that you are, you claim victim. When it's obvious why you get treated the way you do in life. Because you just displayed your psychology right here. Double and triple standard hypocrisy and victimhood consciousness. And you'll have someone like me killed or put in a box or silenced forever on here, and you'll laugh and giggle while you go off and do a whole bunch of abominable, heinous shit and say, but that's me, I'm different. Ignore it. Your problem. I guarantee you're not in any functional relationship, and I guarantee if you are in a relationship, it's characterized by dysfunction. Just because of the way you think and how you live and the double and triple standard. I would guarantee anything if you have a man that they're a beta male simp trick and you don't respect them for 3 seconds. And they ultimately don't respect you. At best, if you're any kind of good looking, you're just eye candy. And you're probably not that, considering you're already on your picture down there got filters and Photoshop like all of you middle-aged, broken down battle axes do on here. You all got Photoshop, snapped out pictures where you ain't yourself. And you know why that is, because you have no value as a person, as a consciousness and awareness, as a partner in life. Your only value in the shallow materialistic world is your vanity and your looks. And you ain't got that many of you as you age. You may have never had that. Then the question is, what do you have to offer exactly? And when the answer in your subconscious mind is nothing every time, because your subconscious mind is 6 moves ahead, you immediately put up walls to experience someone like me till it's late at night and you want to soak up the good game and wonder why a real man's not fucking with you. Well, I'm telling you right now, because of what you just did earlier. Oh, you'll have all the access in the world to all the men who think you're the prize, all the beta males who'll compete for your attention, buy you dinner, lie to you. Oh, I ain't any of that. Right? And you don't know how to get my attention and how to keep it in a functional manner because you got no true value, no principles, and no worth. And you're probably a broken down, ugly battle axe as well. So how could you or would you get my respect? How would I give you a second look? Other than maybe on the highest level that we're all one self, pure conscious awareness. On the lowest level, you're nothing to look at. There's no reason to give you a second look. This is who and what you are and what you present. You're the bane of our existence at this point. The reason why goofy bitches like you think that your perspective and opinion matters is because we've been paying you too much attention for too long, for all the wrong reasons. I got to thank someone, Nathan Palmer. Thanks, Paul. I got more next time. Not sure what that means. Maybe he means fiat, non-fiat, money, non-money. I don't even, I'm not, okay. You think I'm doing what I'm doing in that mode, worrying about who's going to give me what, when, why, and how. No, I can't live like that.
Drove that shit home though, Paulie.
So yeah, I mean, look at this. Look at the power hungry, desperate for attention, Babylonian harlot in chat. Just on and on and on. He just proved my point. LOL. No Photoshop. Don't need it. Here come him demeaning strangers he doesn't know. Typical Paul. Get over yourself. That's you. Hello? You're not in any relationships with strong men who give you accountability. The freak is not one. You just pointed out that you're with him and attached to him. That proves why you're the way you are. You're surrounded by simp trick beta males who just won't tell you the fucking truth, presuming they can even discern the truth. Which is a big if. Let's go. LOL. Look at the little child in chat, desperate for attention, but too cowardly to come up and talk man to woman. Ha 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 ha. False strength, fake laughter. I was waiting for this rant. Spot on. Thanks, daddy issues, Paul. There you go. There's the bringing in my issues with my father, which are legitimate. Am I not supposed to have issues with my father, who's an inauthentic corporate beta male, just like you're an inauthentic corporate beta female? Am I supposed to just play favorites and do nepotism because he's my daddy? No, that's what you broken children do. I'm real with everyone about everything. And I don't play favorites because that's inauthentic and disingenuous. But there you go. You got no problem. That's how I know you don't have any real men in your life, because you're way too free with your yap online to talk to a man like me who does what I do about my father issues. You'll do that in a man's face in the home and they'll say, goofy bitch, get the fuck out and don't come back. And you'll be back on Tinder. You'll be back at the bar. You'll be back at the office hitting on a beta male who's going to pay for your shit. Don't you get it? No real man's going to put up with your attitude all day, every day, trying to equalize with me, project onto me, and then reject the truth in the good game and run off on your ego trip, acting like you're the baddest bitch in town. You ain't shit. This is what a simp trick will create. All you simp trick corporate males out there, you create dumb bitches like this who run around town acting like they're the shit and don't know their real value and worth or lack thereof. You fuck the game up from top to bottom. Because it's a reflection of who and what you are, ultimately. That's the sad part about it. I'll catch you later, the freak. There goes the fake leave. There goes the I'm a coward. I'm not going to come up, but I'm going to pretend to leave and then sit and watch and listen from the back. Right? Incredible. Wait, I thought you were leaving. The freak, you do it the best. Come on. This is what you got. This is what you guys do. I just told you, hey, dumb bitch, get out of the cuck chair, because even though you're a woman, I don't want you watching me while I fuck. And here's where you leave and you take the freak with you in the second cuck chair and you go, it's okay, the freak. You do it best. You're the big boy in town. You don't believe what you just said. You're just trying to bug me, and it doesn't work because it's not true. How could you bug me with a lie that you don't even believe in? But that's cute. See? More harlot Jezebel power games trying to play with a man's ego. This is what they do. I thought you were leaving, dumb bitch. And this is how I talk to them when I don't talk to women like that. Let's be clear, because they'll say, Paulie Boy's toxic and chauvinistic. I don't talk to women like that. I show respect to women. I lower my voice with women. I make sure I'm not intimidating to a woman. With a goofy hoe like this who wants to equalize with me and talk shit about my family and my father that she only knows because I was real here, try to use it against me and play ego power games with me, yeah, I call her a broken bitch and hoe, and I tell her, get the fucking steppin' and watch her act out and play games. That's how you pimp on a bitch and get him right. She needs this. Because all you simp trick beta males won't do the fucking work with her and get her right. You couldn't if you wanted to. This is hilarious. Giggle for me a bit backstage, boys. Ha 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 ha. You're insane. You think that this is a good showing for you? You think that you have power and control? You can't even control yourself right now. You have no power and control over this situation. You're looking like a fool and embarrassing yourself. Becoming my content like you online public slaves do day in and day out. You're allowing me to do a whole rant on why modern day relationships between males and females are the way they are, and it's patently obvious. Another Taylor Swifter, hot girl summer career woman who's going to equalize with a man and then pat the beta males on the back and try to say they're equalized with him. More Gossip Girl, Sex in the City, broken hoe, cultural nonsense games. Doesn't amount to shit at the end of the day. You know it and I know it. And you know what's really interesting at the end of all this, just like all you leftist broads do with the right wingers, because it's archetypal psychology, it's just a level to it. At the root of all this is she really just wants to suck my dick. That's really at the root of all of it, is she can't figure out why, as fat as I am and obnoxious as I am, and I'm in a dirty trailer and all the rest of the shit they say, that archetypally I get her wet and it drives her crazy and it turns her off, right? I turn her on so much with this energy and this passion and this care and vitality and virility. It archetypally turns her on, but she rejects it based on her beliefs of what it should be. So it does something to him, right? And they can't, then I have to get that right and straightened out in alignment and explain to them what's going on there when it comes to human sexuality. This is archetypal. I'm tapping into your archetypal beingness. You don't like that because it makes you feel a loss of control. That's what all you feminist goofy bitches who are outspoken with your false power presentment don't like. You don't like when a real man comes in the room and speaks the word of truth and you lose control over the situation. That's why you hang with the freaks and beta male simp tricks, because you get all the control in the relationship. You know archetypally what they're after, but they'll never say it like Paulie Boy will, right? And here's the clue. Not only will I point out on the lowest level what we're all after as animal beings, I'll integrate with the highest level. Pussy ain't all I'm looking for. Is that all you have to offer?
Do you know this girl?
Yes and no. I know her archetypally, but I don't know her personally.
All right. I'm just wondering if you like had troll wars with her or anything.
Do you know her personally or archetypally?
A little bit.
Care to elaborate?
Oh, yeah. She went over to like Gen X Jeff's, and she was hanging out there for a while. That's where I met her, and I went up on her show a couple times. So that's about it.
Show? Like what do you mean? What do you mean? Where she turns a camera on and 30 people watch her because she's a woman and simp trick on her? Have no other reason to be there? Is that what you mean by show? You guys use this word show very kind of loosely.
It's pretty much a drama panel, which I'm coming out of the closet and admitting that
I there we go.
drama panels now.
Right. Well, we know that. You know,
Yeah.
most bitches are, right?
So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if you ever had like interaction with her, or why is she trolling you so hard?
I don't even know how she knows of me, but they all know of me somehow. Proves they're watching, waiting, and hating. I have no idea who that broad is.
All right.
Personally, right? But I know her archetypally because they're all the same. People who are like this, male or female, they're all the same.
I'll probably ask her about it later.
She seems to know you. Says you're the best. She's over there on your channel. You know.
I didn't even know he had a channel.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I don't get about you beta males either. Aren't you offended by that when she uses you and objectifies you as a pawn? Like, you all won't objectify her and say, hey, if you're attractive, I want to fuck you. You won't do that because you're nice, kind, and polite. Is it like wrong when women objectify you and use you like an actual power piece on a board and go, you go to freak, and they pity you and they think you're a beta male, but they tap on you to make me feel bad and I don't? Don't you get offended by that? You don't even know enough the game to get offended by that, do you?
Well, that's not the situation. So
no, that's what she just did in chat. She's from your channel, and she just went, freak does it best. She pities you, and she's using you, and she's going to talk down to you while pretending to raise you up to objectify you, to use you as a power piece on a board of a game she's playing with me in ego. You sit right there and you enable it instead of saying, dumb bitch, he's right. Why the fuck are you using me as a pawn and playing power games with him? I don't agree with you, but you'd never have the balls to do that in life. And that's why you're not a player. And that's why you're a nice guy who finishes last.
Yeah, like when the fucking, all of a sudden they start making out in front of you when you park somewhere and she looks at you and then you're like, dude, you're kissing dick, bro. And he looks at you laughing. Like,
I don't know what that means and what he's saying. Anyone know what he's saying or what he's doing right there? Anyone?
Like when
say it again.
I don't know what you're.
Let me try to follow.
Say it again.
I have a new African American here. Can you be my new co-host? I've asked this to a few people. Not many people get this. You have a good voice and you seem to have a head on your shoulders and you're able to yield. You seem like you have patience, and that'll go far in this business. Will you be my new co-host and will you try to interpret whatever just went on there, please? Jefferson's
let's see what
black.
he has to say again, sir.
He's very black. I can't interpret.
I just wanted to say that it happens all the time. Pull up to the parking lot, couples will pull up and hop out and start making out right in front of me, and they'll both look at me laughing and keep doing it. And I'm like, bro, what is this? Why are you trying? Why do you think you should be offended that she's using you? I was just saying it's the same shit. Yeah, all the time.
Okay. Now, were you offended by that, Jeff? Is that your undeaded?
I get offended at the fact that they think it offends me. And I'm like, dude, you're kissing dick, bruh. Like, that's what I yell out the window at. I'm like, you're kissing dick, bruh.
It's the pride about it. I agree. It's the pride about it. Like, I think I'm pushing your
button. You know?
But let me see the scenario that you displayed. I'm trying to decode that. It reminded me of, no offense, it reminded me of the Supreme Gentleman, Elliot Rogers, like how he would sit in the parking lot and watch couples like make out or just sit and watch the sunset, and he would monologue about his thoughts about it. You know that dude? Remember that guy, Elliot Rogers?
I don't, but I think
he was a dude that was in. He's from Santa Barbara, and he went on that killing spree. Now I'm not saying you do, because he was like an incel or something like that.
Right, dude. I moved to Santa Barbara when he did that. It was that college student.
Yeah,
and he was all narcissistic.
Right, he was chilling in the parking lot and like witness stuff like that and gives his takes before he crashed out, as we say.
He ruined it for the van life.
I gotta stop you. You guys are going off into beta chatter right now, and it's not making much sense. I don't even know I don't know what just happened. Get back to me.
You're like, he's gonna take that co-host tryout away, huh?
Yeah,
He's like,
I don't mind, but like it's like I don't know. You're going into incels and people doing weird shit in the parking lot. And it's like,
well, I was wondering why you in the parking lot watching that shit.
Let me clarify, please. Yeah. So,
hold on.
As a van lifer,
oh my God, he's gonna attempt to. All right, go further with this. After I just said, let's
clarify. Paul,
let's clarify.
All right. So, as a van lifer, as a man, right? As a young pothead white male.
My Emperor Jew is thumbsing down. Are you not seeing that? My Mr. Powerstein is Emperor Powerstein is thumbing down hard right
I
now.
knew he would eventually.
Really not into it.
He's tripping
I
out
knew
with
that
that AI.
eventually
Continue
today, I would
on.
get a thumbs down from him. Yeah, expected.
Hold on, they're asking in chat, is this the gay guy from Mount Shasta?
Yeah. Yep.
Is that you? yeah, okay. All
We're
right, go
going with
ahead,
it.
man. Jefferson
All
in
right,
good humor today. He's rolling with it.
Paul, I love you, brother. But anyways, fucking van lifer guys like me, we pull up to parking lot, maybe about to go into Planet Fitness, right? Just need a shower, first time in 5
Right.
days. Gotta work, you know. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, every time, out the woodwork, a couple will pull up in front of where I'm facing and just start fucking making out. And then they look at me and laugh and do it again and again. And I'm like, you're sucking dick, bro.
These girls?
No, this random people. It happens a lot. And Paul said it. And I'm like, bro, this shit actually does happen a lot. All right, continue. I'm sorry.
No, but how does that remind you of what the freak was saying, though?
No,
That's
what
all I'm
Paul
trying
was
to say.
saying about,
Oh,
he was
Paul's
saying
saying,
how
okay.
beta males are rubbing in your face. No, it's offensive.
I see.
You should be offended, bro, but you're laughing. You're a disgrace to men.
It
That's
is
what I
though.
think.
That's exactly what the fuck they're doing. Can you prove that that's not the episode? Are you not acknowledging what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah, but that's the thing. We're not there. We can't take Jefferson's secondhand
I hear you. Firsthand
perspective,
experience
but
cannot
like
be
things
denied,
like that
though,
do go on. Like for all you know, I'd have to be there because Jefferson will immediately take this and he'll conclude what I'm saying is true for him, and it might be the opposite. But like women are dirty. Some of them, you know, they're dirty and they like power games. They enjoy it, and they
I
will.
think it's wicked.
They will take their beta male and kiss them in front of you because they want you to bang them, and then when you don't, well, you're saying yeah, but what do you want me to say? What do you want me to do?
Beta
I-
They're
I'm
giving you
pointing
the
out-
opportunity, but then again, then you have to recognize that now that's a woman who's into power games, and she may do the same thing to you at some point.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
the
I
This
don't
beta
want
large
males are
African
going
American
to-
man who joined my panel, right? One day you'll be in the driver's seat,
Yeah.
and she'll say, "Hey, pull over here at Inspiration Point." Right, and you'll go,
It
this is
reminds
kind of
me
a
of my
weird
ex
neighborhood for Inspiration Point. It's kind of,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's a little dark around here, you know.
It
And you'll
reminds
pull
me of
over,
what the
and then she'll get out in front of a large African American and kiss you in front of him, and he'll know what's happening.
Right.
He'll immediately seize upon that opportunity.
No, I know
And
the
then you'll
game,
be
Paul.
left cocked in the dust.
I've been through the game, Paul. I had it done to me, and it
I
reminds
know
me
you
of my
got a look
exes.
in your eye right now. It's kind of scaring me.
And
lean
the
back.
fucker, I'm looking at the fucker. I'm like, I was you 10 years ago, and you're so pathetic, and so was I. And it's fucking wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to smoke my spliff. You know?
Wait a second. Liliana's still here? I thought she was leaving. See what I mean? Power gaming, disingenuous, fake ass bitch. That's why I don't respect you, because you got no integrity and you don't do what you say you're going to do. We knew you weren't leaving. She's one of these broken hoes who gathers all her shit up and you go, okay, goodbye. And she keeps talking and talking. I go, could you hurry up and gather your shit up? I'm leaving. And I go, I heard that. I got that. I figured it out when you were picking your shit up. I start helping her pick her shit up. And then start slamming doors, coming back in, walking around in circles. Like, you ain't going to leave, are you? I'm going to have to put you out. All right. So I don't listen to what a bitch says. I watch what they do. Right. That's the difference between us as creatures. You dumb hoes listen to what motherfuckers say. I look at what they do and don't do. That's how you judge character. So could you stop playing your bitch ass games? Because at some point, if you're on DeFreak's channel right now, at Pimp Unslaved, I'm taking your audience real quick. At Pimp Unslaved, okay? Because I may have to disconnect this at some point, and I'm cutting out the middleman. I used to do this on the street with drugs. It was incredible how I work. You should see it. I'm real. I'm straightforward. They go, did you just get out of the car and approach the connect? I go, yeah. I go, I just took them from you. I go, that's why you don't bring someone to the drug dealer, because I will take them from you. Just right in front of everyone. I get right out. I go, hey, I've been coming here for 3 days in a row with this guy. This is who I am, and I'll bring you this much every day. This guy's out now. I'm in. And they go, okay. The connect don't care. All right. So, we're not middlemaning here. I don't middleman anywhere in life. Right. So it's at Pimp Unslaved. You can come on over. We go live every day, 7 days a week, over 1,000 days straight for whatever this is. If you're into it. If not, go fuck yourself. Stay over there. because I may have to disconnect at some point, right? I don't like the chain slaves in the chat who I can't time out, who use the extra space to snipe and play games. I don't like when you guys get enabled in your ego to get what you want. It never makes you into a better person, and it annoys me. Your thoughts, expert panel. We're going to have to wrap up here at some point. But this was a rather intimate interaction here today. Numbers not too high, high enough to be a thing, but not crazy. Kind of hanging out, taking a load off, just kind of pleasant conversation. Amorphity still subconsciously hating in the chat. Not with that comment, with the last comment. Everyone should give something to Paul because he's way underpaid. Well, yeah, you're doing it again, because when I say that, I'm kind of like being tongue-in-cheek. I'm comparing myself, why I would, to the likes of like Fresh and Fit and Andrew Wilson and all the other beta males who pretend to be king of the mountain but don't do shit on the ground and don't stand for nothing. Right, those guys. I'm way underpaid compared to them. Luckily, I'm not them, and when you do what I do the hard way and the long way, you got to get it how you live. That means you got to play a long game, and I have everything I need and then some, and I'm thankful and grateful for that. This opportunity and various opportunities have been a blessing to me. So don't worry about how everyone else needs to give me shit. See, you're playing passive aggressive power games. Worry about what you're going to give as tribute here today for taking my time, energy, and attention and listening to me and pretending you didn't get no value here. Well, then why do you come here? See? Just like a bitch in the chat, pocket watching and talking about what other people need to do. Everyone else is fine. Don't worry about everybody else. You worry about being equitable. You worry about taking time, energy, attention, and good game and offering nothing day in and day out other than your shitty commentary, which is not needed. See? A lot of these folks weren't raised right. They'll show up at somebody's house, eat up the chips, listen to whatever entertainment it is, for better or for worse, right? Track mudding on the floor and then walk out and then hand you a bill. Like you owe them some, right? You got this shit backward. You were never raised properly. You don't know what equity and trust is in life, and that's why these cultures and societies and communities are failing. Then you want to offer, then on top of it you go, hey, where's the complaint box? Why didn't you put out a complaint box? Right? Come in, bring nothing, be nothing, offer nothing, take up whatever's there, and then want to, what's that now?
I said, you taking grievances now?
Well, yeah, that's what it is, right? That's the world they want to live in, the world of people like them. Do nothing, be nothing, create nothing, suck up whatever's there, and then complain about the results. They go, where's the complaint box? I see a manager. That's the average public slave nowadays. They wonder why everything's failing. All right, who's in the back area? BSBT. BSPT, I didn't see you back there if you've been back there a while. How are you, sir?
I am doing okay, Paul. You are being annoyed by my ex-girlfriend tonight, and I have to take responsibility for that.
Oh, that's your dumb hoe? It figures. I knew this dumb hoe traced back to
exactly. It's like, of course. It's like, can I have anything help me?
That's the dumb hoe who can't figure out to let the father into the child's life, no matter how wacky and eccentric he is. That's the dumb hoe who's going to poison the well with her own child. Yeah. Right, makes sense.
Well, that's a
power-hungry, goofy bitch.
Yeah, that's a different one. So I've got many.
Well, that's a different one. Man, you're racking them up, huh? You're moving and you're sticking and moving. This guy's out here. We out here.
Horrible. Yeah, I have
Stay toxic, King. Yeah, man. I guess you ain't leveling up then, huh? Because you went from goofy bitch to goofier bitch.
Oh my god.
Kind of hustling backwards.
Yeah, I mean, like, you talk about a track record, that's absolutely 100% on point. Your analysis of her is probably the most accurate analysis that I've heard. So I just
well, do you know how I know that this is part of the scene? I don't mean to demean you now, but this is how we make connections. You're a people pleaser at times, and you like to be nice and kind, and you're a nice guy. Right? Yes, you're not mean like Paulie Boy. And that's the ones that they're attracted to try to use up and play with and fuck with and then leave and giggle at, right?
Sounds about right. Sounds pretty accurate.
I'm sorry for that. They all do it. And it's to make you better if you let it be, right? Don't let it get to you. Don't take it personal. We've all been that at some point. And we have to get really real with ourselves and each other about what we're doing here and what a man's purpose is, not to entertain these goofy bitches.
Paul,
Yes,
is
sir.
is it to teach us to become meaner or just have way more
Oh,
discernment?
no. I
Like, how do
don't
you see
like
it?
being mean.
Like, how
It's
do
to
you
get
see it
more in
though?
touch with your true self. How do you get more in touch with your true self unless you're caught on a hook and led this way and that, and then forced to get back to who you really are and what you're really here to do? It's just a test and a challenge.
Yeah.
You don't take it personal. These goofy bitches can only do what they do if you're not doing what you're supposed to do in life. It's just another test and challenge. See where you're at,
So
where you're
when you get
going, and
on the
where you
right
come
track,
from.
are more women calling you rude, or like, how'd it go?
No,
I'm
I
being
think when you
serious.
get on the right track, you're going to have more of everything come about. There's just going to be more energy there, more power, more value. So more of everything comes out.
Yeah.
Then you have to discern who's who and what's what, right? So, yeah, I mean, again, like the way you look at it, right, is the God and the devil can identify value, right, and either support it or try to corrupt it. So that's kind of what you have going on there, right? In every dynamic, I just see the replication of that. You got some real good women who can identify value and power and want to nourish it and work with it and be a helpmate and a support system and a partner in that and even emulate that and express that. And then you got the other ones who want to use that and corrupt that for their own purposes.
Right. It
You
wasn't
got to
until
figure
like
out who's who, which. Go ahead.
it wasn't until I started investing in myself is when I found my wife, who I've been married to almost 12 years now. Yeah, so I've been with
Right.
yeah. Thanks, yeah. A lot of there's been extreme highs and then some dips and like valleys, you know. But one thing I do notice, even I wish I would have known this before I got married, but at least I know it now, that women, almost anyone, but I'll say women, they do what you let them get away with, you know. And if you're not being a good leader and having integrity, they'll see that, and especially if you chose a bad one, she's gonna like walk all over you, bro.
Yeah, but that's a tyrant in any form, right? There's no separation between a male or a female tyrannical spirit. So any tyrant in any form will do what you let them do. And then as soon as you start to stand your ground and stand for yourself and care for yourself and be unwavering in truth, the tyrant loses all of its power and control. That's what it's meant to teach you, how to be free, how to have the power to choose. The same thing everything in the simulation is trying to teach you, including government. What's the difference between a woman and government? They're both here to teach you the same lessons in life. How to self-govern, how to control yourself, how to lead within yourself, how to be unwavering in truth, how to practice being free and also having a love and a care in you, right? Anything else other than that, well, what are we doing here? Right? So this is all spiritual training ground. As far as I could see, it's all replications of the same test and challenge. It just comes in different forms.
Right.
Can't blame a woman for acting like a goofy bitch. She's there to test you. Who are you? What are you doing? What are you standing on? What understanding can you give me? How can you lead? If you can't, then get out of the way. Because somebody else can and will when she's long gone from you. Right? And then there has to be a willing participant. You can't lead the unwilling. Right? And you can't be willing unless you understand what your position is and what the role is and what the form and function is and the cause and effect. So there has to be a dualistic process there. And no, it's not necessarily relegated, man to woman, but it would seem to me that that's at least, one aspect of the process. And then you would have to say, part of that woman's reflection back is teaching a man to be more caring in certain situations. Like part of the test is to embody who you really are in your nature and to call out a supportive, understanding partner in that woman. And then her function is to teach you to have a woman's care, because in honoring your nature, as far as I've seen, there's a polyamorous, they like to say, aspect to our beingness. So I don't know other man's experience. I just know my experience of being attracted to multiple women and being able to share love or just space or whatever else with multiple women. That's kind of, it seems, the way that we're oriented to do. It seems a woman is complementary. She's looking for the best one. So I just see God's sense of humor in all this objectively. When I talk to other people and study other people and myself, right? We tend to be complementary creatures. We're here to do what the other one can't, and then show the other one an ability to do so, or won't, not can't, but won't usually as a default. So yeah, I mean, the way I've described it when it comes to sexuality, at least from my experience, is a man is oriented to want the next one, the woman is oriented to want the best one. If you put those two together, you get the next best one, you know? So yeah, I mean, again, we're back to the dynamics of pimping. So either I'm just dysfunctional because I didn't have a mama, and I'm not able, because they'll say I'm not emotionally available and all this other stuff, and not able to truly love a woman. I don't necessarily believe that a man's love is the same as a woman's love. I think that a man communicates his level of care and love in what he does and creates and what he serves, not necessarily by how he pours his emotions and energy onto and over a woman. Right?
Were you this ruthless out on the street?
Say again?
Were you this ruthless, like, you know, doing your stuff out on the street when you were doing all that stuff?
Not really. I mean, this is kind of just watching men and women and what our tendencies are, and then studying other men and women, and the understandings that they've come to and the experiences, and kind of drawing conclusions. Where's the connecting points? Right? I'm not one of these people who, if I watch a documentary on somebody, that I'm going to go, well, that's them and I'm me. I'm going to find the connecting points. I'm going to find where we're similar, if not different. Right? So I've just concluded that what we see as pimping and hoeing is essentially an archetypal nature, you know, sort of the animal that we are, and kind of reconciling that creature with some level of conscience, right? Because what we learn from the pimping and hoeing community is that the truest and best pimps over time, if not from the beginning, are struggling in life to not be a pimp, and for the hoes to not hoe. They're born into this life, so they do what they know how to do, but the whole point of it is to get out, not to go deeper, right? So it's easy to judge and mischaracterize without an understanding of the perspective of what's going on there and what the reality is. The reality is people in these dark situations are just reconciling the darkness within them and in the world, and they're struggling to make it to the light, right? So to me, we're literally coming from different perspectives, right? If you look at these urban communities and cultures and suburban communities and cultures, it's a different perspective that oftentimes the middle ground is where the truth is found, in my experience. So what I'm getting to is, we obviously don't want to be on the extreme end. I'll just speak for me. I don't experience myself in this experience as on the extreme end of pimping and hoeing, because I'm not going to expose women to a reality where they can be harmed and reduce an interaction with other men as a transactional experience, right? So I'm not in interactions with women for money, you know, which is obviously a tenet of pimping and hoeing. But beyond that is the relationship of man to man and woman to man, and vice versa, right? And then we have the other side of things, you know, the suburban perspective with the simping and the tricking, you know, where essentially the man is looked at as the paycheck, you know, so inside the home. I think that there's a middle ground when we observe these two cultures, where the reality of who we are as a creature and how this is supposed to function becomes evident, right? We have a habit of this, right? The same way we go Republican, Democrat, same way we do everything. We go to left and right extremes, and it seems right in the middle, like the yin and yang symbol, is where the gray area and the reconciliation is found, right? So when we go to scripture, you'll see right there, the man is the head of the house. The God works through man. Man is revealed in his actions, usually by challenging the system and himself. And then that truth is revealed to a woman, what her purpose and meaning is. It all kind of works together. And in the scripture, it talks about a man having multiple partners to be part of this interaction, the way he's created to be, right? So I think that that's the case. And I think a lot of our modern day dysfunctions are experienced because we're not in alignment with the way things are supposed to be. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think that you had the confidence back then that you at all when you were running around that you do now?
Absolutely not. Quite the opposite. I've told you and others many times, I'm sure you've heard me talk about being afraid to leave the house, you You know, I still have approach anxiety when it comes to talking to women. I really don't like walking up to women out in public and starting a dialogue with them that is going to lead to, on some level, whether it's subconscious or conscious, a sexual interaction. It actually makes me uncomfortable, always has. Makes me feel like I'm hunting human beings. So I've never felt good about or been good with walking up to women, you know, or picking them out like that. It just doesn't feel good to me, right?
About, like,
More interactions with women have opened up because I've done this and other things in life. And when you focus on your purpose, it tends to be that women gravitate toward the same purpose, either because they want a man of that purpose or they're aligned with that purpose. And you got to figure out who's who and what's what with that.
So now they're approaching you now more than you're saying, kind of.
Well, I mean, to a degree, typically what I see in life in general is women don't usually make the first approach directly. If they approach, it's indirect. You know, they do it like they do in these chats and other things. They show affection. They show that they're into you and what you do. They show up every day. I mean, obviously, it's common sense. If a woman shows up every day somewhere to listen to you and she's into you and what you're doing, then obviously you got a shot, whatever that means.
It's like a choosing sign, right?
Yeah. I mean, again, like this is why I laugh, because a lot of times here, folks don't recognize the game that goes on. They're with women who spend 6 hours or 3 hours on here watching me every day. And I go, do you not realize that your woman is more into me than she is into you? And there might be good reason for that at times. So why not become that? It's not a knock on you. It's not personal. You think Pauly Boy has always been Pauly Boy before he was Pauly Boy? This is a constant fucking, you know, gaining knowledge and experience and updating the character and becoming whatever you're meant to be in that moment over time, right? So no, I'm far from an extroverted person at my default. I'm far from a ladies' man. I'm far from an approaching person and whatever person, right? I've gotten to any interactions with women that are somewhat functional or you know, even able to be open to sexuality based on me focusing on my purpose in life, right? By focusing on my purpose in life, it opened doors with other women who were either aligned with that purpose or want to use me because they see power in me all of a sudden. You know, they want to suck that and drain that and misuse that.
It's the same dynamic with the mafia. You know, it stands up because we can't have a vacuum, so they come in to take the place of the same as the court, the same as the women. They want
I can't hear you, bro. Come closer. You got to get your mic together.
Can you hear me now?
A little bit, yeah.
I'm saying it's the same dynamic with the mafia. Whether it's the mafia, the court, the women, they just want to see if the man is going to show up because we can't have a vacuum. Something's got to fill the vacuum.
Mafia.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, and
fill the void. If the void,
yeah,
is
I've oftentimes compared this, and it's the same word. Courting is courting, right? So you're the servants in quotes, right? And you got to be careful with this because I'm not necessarily saying that a woman's whole purpose in life is to serve man, because man has to serve God, and then woman serves God through the man, if that makes sense, and serves God directly in her own actions. And maybe even vice versa in their own way. Man serves woman in a godly way, but not in the same kind of perspective. But the same way when you show up as an honorable man at court, the servants start to serve you instead of play games with you and challenge you and test you and try to overwrite you, right? They just start to serve. It's the same dynamic, inherent hierarchical power and value dynamic with a woman, at least a functional woman, right? Like, a woman will even tell you, I don't mind submitting to a man who's a man. What they don't want to do is be forced or coerced or duressed to submit to a beta male. Quite the opposite. If they're with a beta male, they're going to play the man on them. So there's an archetypal space in every man and woman where they revert to the space that they're meant to be to perform the function they're meant to perform under God. And that is then corrupted or dysfunctional when the circuit is not complete, so to speak, right? So this is why you'll have women who will act out and act a certain way. One, because they're not practicing self-control and discernment in who they're selecting. But because they're also then by proxy with a male they're not supposed to be with, so they start acting out. They don't feel. They'll do the whole something doesn't feel right thing, right? This is what men have witnessed, and this is why when you go to comedy clubs, everyone laughs and giggles when they make the joke about goofy bitches waking up one day and going something doesn't feel right, because that's her intuition going off saying I'm with a powerless beta male who's going nowhere and ain't about nothing, money aside, family aside, house aside, all the shit aside. So if you're not who and what you're supposed to be in alignment with God and nature, that woman is not going to feel right. She's going to make your life a living hell, right? And then you're going to go to MGTOW and saying all women are this, all women are that. No, she's your devil. She's your devil because she's gonna indirectly use coercion and duress to get you right under God and be what you're meant to be. And if you don't, you're gonna wind up hating women. She's trying to push you indirectly to love in God and the truth and yourself. You don't see that and do that, you're gonna wind up hating women. See? And that's what you got with a lot of these slaves online, like Snafu and others. They hate women. They truly do. They hate strong women. They only keep themselves around manipulatable, suggestible, powerless women. They hate strong men and they hate strong women. That's the archetype of the deceiver and the Luciferian, the Shaitan, right? Comes to kill, steal, destroy, and corrupt because it senses weakness and misalignment. It's there for a reason, right? It's there to get us right if we let it be. But oftentimes the consequences or the experience can be tragic or catastrophic.
Mm-hmm.
And more importantly here, that's the same dynamic with the court. They just want to see if you are going to show up as the man and take responsibility, because they don't even want to be up there. If you're willing and more individuals are willing to take responsibility for themselves and the man is going to come forward, be what he needs to be and show up, then that judge doesn't need to be up there judging.
Right, because we go back to alignment and faith. When the faith is good and the energy is there and the circuit is complete, everything operates as it should. When it's not, we have disorder and corruption of the original order and frequency in the house and outside the house in the courting process.
So the ideal woman is there to bring that out of the man, to see if you can become what you need to become for yourself, not just for her.
We're also back to pimping and hoeing. If you go study pimping and hoeing, all the best pimps will tell you the best hoe is the one who gets you to the best pimping. And the way she does that is testing you and challenging you. They'll tell you that. This is why I'm saying I study pimping and hoeing, because I noticed the men and the women in the field of pimping and hoeing were remarkably philosophical. It was fascinating to me. You'll have these men who are supposed to be low life, ghetto, whatever, and they're sitting there talking to you about the cosmos and consciousness and awareness and movement of energy and perspective and what their purpose is and a woman's purpose is. And this is what the game is. Pimps sitting around talking the game, talking life, talking psychology and sociology and how shit works. So, yeah, I mean, again, behind every great man, there's a good woman. A good woman can't be a good woman unless her intuition is steering her to be good. That means if you ain't being good, she's going to be hell on wheels for you, trying to get you there, right? The same way that a woman is going to force you to pimp, because you can't say that we're supposed to get to the money and get to whatever else, and you ain't got a plan and a program to put down. She's literally asking you, be the leader, give me the program, give me the plan, give me some game to run, put it down, daddy. And then when you ain't got it, she's like, you ain't shit. I'm going across the street to get a motherfucker who is that. That's what her position is in life. That's what she's supposed to do, and you're mad at it? What else is going to get you right? What else is going to help you become a leader, if not courting, whether it's the courts themselves or the bitch who's going to take you to court to take half your shit because you won't get right and play your position as a man?
You just need to learn to never take that. You need to never take that out on her, because that's not a bug or a flaw. That's a design feature.
Like a car, right? It's got a design feature. It's not as ergonomic, but it's functional if you let it be. And again, there's a fine line there. There's a fine line there between a woman following her intuition and being a test and a challenge to you versus her just being a dysfunctional ball buster who's projecting on you. Obviously, you got to have the discernment to know the difference.
Yeah, and then having children will take it up. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Oh, no, you're good.
Yeah, and this I was gonna say, and this is what, like, she's like a crucible. It's like an alchemical marriage. Like, she brings out the best in you, because she's your mirror every day of who you are and how you're acting. And then when you have a child, or children, that just kicks it up a notch even more, because that little being, human, is watching you, you know, constantly, and you got to show and prove, you know.
Yeah, so she's doing the chat now, that broad. She's actually like, she's taking pleasure in the fact that she wants to twist males' egos, right? She's like, oh, Josh is quiet now. Why don't you ask him how I dumped him 3 times? Ha 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 ha. She's into it, right? Just look at it. Just listen to it, right? She's into the fact that she's able to get you to lust after her and want her, and that she believes she has the ultimate power to dump you 3 times,
I think
right?
if I call you daddy, it will help her ego down there. I really think it's going to help her out a lot if I call you daddy.
Well, yeah, that's a game that she's playing indirectly as well, because whether she knows she's doing it or not, part of her broken hoe harlot Babylonian design feature is she's trying to get you to lead yourself totally and become the man you're meant to be, the man that she thought she was attracted to, right? But again, she's a goofy bitch who doesn't have discernment, has to run through 40 guys before she figures shit out and how life works and herself, if she'll ever get it. Right? She might already be on number 80. We don't know. But usually when they're like that, it usually means high body count, right? Broken hoe. It's like, ha, 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 I don't give a fuck about anyone else's feelings. Ha, 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 ha. I use people and leave a wake of casualties. Ha, ha, ha. Like, instead of you actually being an in-touch person who's evolved and conscious and aware and has a real understanding and giving him some game so he can better himself, you just shit on him and try to like break his heart and fuck with his ego. You're trash. And then it's like people like me have to pick up the pieces on both sides, males and females. I have to pick up the pieces. I have to shine light on it. I have to remind people of what's going on there and why and where to go from here. While you just on to the next one, swinging from dick to dick like a monkey in the fucking forest. That's you. I wonder what new loser. I wonder what new loser she's got to entertain her and stomp all over and run all over and if it's not they're out for the money, bitches like this, they're out for the power and or both. So she may not need to be with a man who has money, as long as she has the power and can control you and stomp all over you and run your emotions from one side of the room to the other.
Can we call that? Can we call that?
Look! No! I gotta stop you because this is great. Now watch the gaslighting campaign. She's now, as she just said in the chat, why doesn't everyone ask him how I dumped him 3 times? Ha! She's going to go right into gaslighting mode like she would if she was in a relationship with you. It's sad you let people talking about women like this, Josh. So now he's supposed to side with you and he's supposed to simp and trick on you and say I'm a bad influence? You want to be everyone's mama so bad. You devouring mama harlot. You are some piece of garbage. And they say men have ego? I've seen more ego on some of these women than it's embarrassing.
That's some excellent troll.
Well, if I can just a minute to explain.
You have no integrity. Your mom would look, she's even invoking the mom with the devouring mama spirit. It's so Freudian. Your mom would be so proud you let your friends talk about women like this. You want me to say dumb, gaslighting, narcissistic, manipulative, deceptive, harlot bitch again? Because that's exactly what you are. And if his mama, Josh's mama, would go along with you, she's one too. What do you think about that? The scripture says you got to turn father against son and mommy against harlot hoe daughter, if necessary, and vice versa. And that's the reason why. How dare you? No. I'm not done. I'm not done. Please.
Okay. Well.
I need to dress this whore down a little bit more because she's sick and twisted.
I was gonna give you one for it.
No, don't. Please don't. Just give me thumbs up or thumbs down or sideways, please. How dare you, you manipulative, power-hungry slave. I hope every male is out here watching this to see the tactics of the narcissistic freak who will go on social media and say Josh and the other men that she dumps over and over again and uses and manipulates, they're the real narcissist. It's you, sweetie, invoking his mother to try to take power and control over the situation when he's no longer with you, and you just shit on him in the chat and made fun of him and said you dumped him 3 times and laughed at it while you tried to break his heart. You're the biggest victim / narc gaslighting trash ever. You just swing not only from dick to dick, but from power move to power move. Triggered, Paul. I'm not triggered. I'm calling out who and what you are in front of this whole audience. They all think you're trash with what you just did. It's obvious. You're triggered. That's why you're in my chat with 6 messages in a row, and you said you were leaving an hour ago. You're triggered. I pulled the trigger on you. You're triggered. And you know that your hole down there is like a shotgun blast. You've been ran through. You know you have little to no value to offer. You're getting up there in age, right? And it's eating you up inside. And the best you had to show here today was your narcissistic, power-hungry games and childlike affect. And you don't think that we're all pitying you and think you're pathetic and know you're going to wind up alone or in an unfulfilled relationship? Look, now she's clutching onto him still. What are you clutching for, dumb bitch? You were supposed to leave an hour ago.
I think
Josh,
she thinks
nothing to say. You're letting your daddy be your mouthpiece. Haha, your mom is laughing. What? You bring up the mom now. You are such a toxic hoe.
And
This is why you're going to be alone.
Yeah, I think she thinks I'm going to like rescue her or come to her defense or something like that. Why
would you? She just bragged about dumping you 3 times to teach you a lesson. And she may have something to teach you indirectly, how not to choose goofy bitches like this and be a real man. That's fine. But that doesn't mean that you're going to play power games against me and him. I happen to be like a guiding force in his life. I happen to be someone who's worked with him and attempted to help him and shown him truth. His life is better off for me being in it. We can't say the same about you, you broken, toxic bitch. So why are you now trying to get me on your side, get him on your... This is what these hoes do. This is why you got to stay solid king, because they'll do this at the party with you. They'll do it and they'll flip whoever's the weak-minded beta bitch in the situation against whoever else is talking the truth and standing on something. Stop, Liliana, you're embarrassing. You keep one after the other. Then you're pretending to hit the like button like you're entertained and you're into this. We see through you, toxic hoe. We know what game you're playing. It's not working. You're embarrassed right now. You feel pitied and pathetic. You feel low because you are. You're just exposed to him what you are. And you know subconsciously what I just said is true. That you have a horrible track record for life choices and relationships. And you're probably going to wind up in a lone, angry, delusional, desperate cat lady online. You're already 3/4 of the way there. Do you have a cat? You might be all the way there, technically.
I was
6
just
comments in a row at a time.
I was hoping we could go with broken slut, busted twat.
Yeah, what kind of medication? That's a different BSBT, right?
That's all I wanted to do.
What kind of medication is she not taking?
I don't know, but and then just for real quick, because I don't want to bore the audience with this, but she's misremembering also what was said on a stream one time when I was just simply stating that, you know, I've known you before YouTube, and that's no secret. We've all said this. I mean, we've said this a bunch of times. Sure, Lillian doesn't understand this. And then Moose comes up there. Moose, of all people, is with Liliana and this Gen X Jeff guy. And Moose is trying to take credit for building your channel. And I'm like, no, if anything, like I put you onto the YouTube thing back when we were doing the Zoom. And then I was like, hey, check out these panel things. Then you took the ball and ran with it. I did nothing to help build your channel, but Lillian's trying to make it sound like because I told you about the StreamYards that I'm trying to take credit for your channel.
I don't know what any of that means. It doesn't matter. Yeah. It's a name details.
You know what?
None of that changes the power games and the psychology and the sociology of it. Right. And that's the most important thing here.
Trying to cause more division and fucking paradigms and shit like that.
We're doing the catch you later thing again. An hour later. Is this where you're leaving for the second time? But you're still going to watch and listen? Toxified, drama-hungry hoe. You love embarrassing yourself. This is the point. There's inherent hierarchical power and value systems. A lot of these women, when they get in the room, are going to want to suck someone's dick. And instead of just being honest about that with their partner or themselves and figuring out what that is, and then maybe coming to you and going, hey, don't look up to Pauly Boy. Become like Pauly Boy if you look up to him so I can respect you and you can respect yourself. They're not going to do that. They're not going to tell you that. They may not even be aware of that dynamic. It just feels like something to them. And the way they get off on it is dumping you 3 times and sucking someone's dick who they do respect, who they think is powerful. That's the toxic hoe. So you got to watch for that, right? And you know when you're with one because they act like this. Real women are not going to do that. First of all, they're probably not going to get with you unless you're who and what you're supposed to be, and they see that light in you. If they become aware you're waning in that, they're going to give you a check, right? Like, hey, this is who I met. This is who you are. Remember that guy? Be that so I can respect you and want to suck your dick. Go get him, champ. You're not going to go suck some guy's dick off at a party and dump you 3 times and go on break to play power games to teach you a lesson. That's a toxic hoe. Who, if you don't have someone like me to give you the game and break it down, you'll probably go back on drugs or alcohol or maybe put a bullet in your brain. Right? So I'm helping. She's helping and I'm helping in our own ways. It sucks for you too, Liliana, because, and here's where you deny it in chat. You, by the way, you haven't denied it yet, and that's how I know it's true. But feel free after this next line to deny it outright, right? I know you want to suck my dick, but here's where I fuck you up. You can't. See? You're not used to that. Tell a goofy bitch something they never heard before like this one. You can't. See? That really drives them crazy. They're not used to not getting what they want in life. Now give it to me. Go ahead down in chat. We're waiting for it. You guys are predictable as the day is long.
Oh, she left.
I would never suck your dick. That's what she'll say, right?
She's already going on.
Yeah. Because that's the 3rd time I said it. She hasn't refuted it yet. But once I call attention to it, she'll be predictable as the day is long. I would never suck your dick. Right. Because I already told you don't have an option to. So you're going to lie again and pretend and play power game. Yeah, I wouldn't want your dirty energy transferred onto me in my spirit. I wouldn't want to have to live with the fact that I interacted with you beyond a certain point. It's degrading to me. Yes, sir.
I appreciate your time. You have me up here. I got my main mission to do. It's about 10 a.m. in Taiwan time over here. So I got to get started on some stuff. And
see you, bud.
Appreciate you. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Feel free to come back and join me, co-host, non-co-host, whenever you have some time and inspiration.
Yeah, with some. Oh, he gave me the thumbs up. I'm gonna live on a good note.
There it is.
Yeah, I'm also gonna dip
Jew
out.
Emperor.
Fascinating.
Yeah, I'm also gonna dip out. I was up here just in case Lillian felt like coming up to. Yeah, I'm still open to having conversations.
No,
with
Lillian's gonna have to fuck herself tonight, or whatever beta male loser she's now dating, non-dating.
Yeah, I believe she's married, but I don't know if you know.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure it's
Yeah.
going
Why
great.
the fuck
That's why
she
she's in
down
this
there
chat
on
box.
the freak's dick if she's married? Type of
Right,
fucking-
exactly.
It's
And I don't
going
know
great.
why she's online flirting with other men when she's married, but hey, who knows? Maybe it's a me problem. It's probably a me problem.
Yeah, you're a narcissist. That's what it is. Every man's a narcissist on TikTok. That's the reality of it.
Thanks
You're
for
totally
having me
not a
up, though.
broken hoe who can't take guidance or even do the guiding, right? It's like it's
Yeah,
always the man.
exactly.
He's a narcissist.
Absolutely.
Well, they got
fascinating.
10 dicks in their mouth like this. Oh my God. My ex-boyfriend was such a narcissist. He wouldn't like validate me constantly and do whatever I want and play my power games with me. And he tried to lead me to stop being a dumb, broken bitch. Yeah, that's you. In case you were wondering. That's you down there,
Please.
Liliana.
Josh has to get in the shower, brush his teeth, and go to bed.
Who's stopping him? Get the fuck out of here, man. All of you get the fuck out. You got to go take a bath and get in your PJs and all the rest of it. And you need warm milk too. They need warm milk. These people. You want me to warm up some milky? Warm up the milky. What's up, Tibby and whoever that is? Jeff. That's got to be Jefferson. It's got to be.
Greetings,
right.
good work.
What are you looking for here, Timmy? Are you looking for a Jew Boss co-host moment, or are you just wanting to like what's the vibe?
No, I was just calling to say what up. Looked like it was going well. It's good stuff. I'm good, bro.
All right. Well, I mean, since I was offering, I'm giving you the opportunity. If you don't want it, we'll wrap it up, man. There's always tomorrow.
Yeah, no. There's always tomorrow, brother.
All right. Final words. Give me the final words. We didn't get to any docket, but who cares? It was a wild and crazy broadcast, non-broadcast. Full of the usual asylum-like optics, dysfunction, insanity, miscommunication, and misunderstanding, and projection.
I appreciate the time, Pa.
Thank you,
Another one in the books, brother.
Good to have you here. Another one in the books. Call it. We're calling it.
Do you remember Space Ghost Coast to Coast?
I thought she was leaving. She's still here. She's still typing too. Desperate for attention. It's getting kind of, it's way past that actually. I'm saying getting kind of, it's really creepy, Liliana. Seriously. You said you're leaving. It's the third time. You've been here the whole broadcast. You're playing power games constantly. Can you just go now? Have some dignity and self-respect? Really embarrassing. Final words?
Do you remember Space Ghost Coast to Coast?
Yeah.
Just Gablin, Brack.
Right.
Yeah. That's it.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, man. I want to talk with you about, and we'll do it tomorrow or something, but about voting and Donald Trump, and then also the whole, I know you don't like the term, the sovereign sit stuff, but
I'll give you 20 minutes. The beginning of the broadcast, you be here, or whenever you show up, try to get here. I'll give you at least 20 to 30 minutes. We can go through whatever you'd like.
Excellent.
The bidding time.
All right.
Thank you, freak creature.
Hey, Paul.
That's part of the problem. Liliana doesn't listen. She doesn't listen to her daddy. She's here for oddly enough, the beta males who come here to get attention from daddy. So that doesn't make any sense. You're not being honest. If you're here with the freak, you just heard him. And I say beta male with the most euphemistic sense of respect, non-respect. Okay? It is what it is. So you're here for him and with him. He's here for me. That means indirectly you're here for me. You're back in the hotel cuck chair. Okay? And I might toss you on the bed. Give you what for? All right? Let's not pretend what we're here for. We know what we're here for. All right? Stop the games. And I already threw you out. That's the thing. You keep coming back in and going in the cuck chair and then lying on the bed and go, please don't fuck me. I'm totally here for the freak. Don't fuck me. And I go, hey, I asked you to leave. Could you leave? You said you're leaving. You're not leaving. So it's really creepy. It's like you're the opposite of a rape victim. You're like a woman rapist, which women can't rape because they can't do the fucking. But you're like as close as you could possibly get to being a woman raper, where you're proverbially, like archetypally, metaphorically, you keep running in the room naked and spreading your legs and going, oh my God, I'm here for the freak. Someone fuck me, but no one fuck me. Seriously, don't. Seriously, don't. I don't want that, but do it. And we're like, what are you doing? What is this? I thought you were leaving. And you keep running back in like every 5 to 10 minutes. And we're like, are we going to get in trouble for this? Like, and the weirdest thing is normally you think men would jump right on that and just get to it. None of us have done it yet. We're all like, no, we don't want to. We think we're going to get in trouble. You're kind of weird and creepy. You're throwing us off with this energy. It's insane asylum energy, and it's not attractive. It's not interesting. It's not funny. It's not fun. It's not interesting. It's not attractive. It's just weird. Jefferson, what are you doing, man? What is that? Jefferson, are you underwater right now? Are you in the car are you in the car with Mary J. Kopechne? Like RFK, whatever FK, the guy who drove into the lake with the woman. Jefferson, come to the surface, please.
All right, let me get it up. Let me get it up.
It's like sonar. You hear that? It's like a submarine doing sonar. Like this is what I'm talking and I'm like that. Hold on. Hold on, Jefferson. This is what I have going on my end with you. I want you to get a. This is what you're doing. We're in a. Are you getting that?
Yeah, smoking reefer with the Coast Guard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I'm in some pipe that's dripping, or I'm in a submarine with sonar. Is what I have going on here.
Right.
Yeah. I'm deep in Liliana's vagina in a submarine. I'm in her fallopian tubes right now. Her vagina is so humongous. that I made entry through the porthole. I'm at least 12 inches into her fallopian tube. Huge gaping entry on the vagina, by the way. I want to note that. I'm like Admiral Byrd. I'm noting huge. This is what they're gonna read. So huge entry point on the Liliana Trench vagina that I made entry on. Today's date is October 8th, I believe. Entrance was made on the front-facing cavernous Liliana vagina trench that is inhabited by multiple creatures and organisms. They're enjoying that. They're enjoying being part of this exploration. We're looking for aborted children in here. We're looking for past sort of exploits. You know, any kind of technology that might have got lost in here. Because it's so cavernous that like we think we can find like maybe watches from past interaction. Yeah. Like, oh my God, look at this. This is a watch from past civilization.
Captain Paul, we need you. We need you.
Leroy must have dropped this in here. It's an Audemars.
Don't go any further, Captain Paul.
Yeah. There's a black guy in this trench. There's an Audemars watch in here. Past civilization.
Captain Paul, retreat.
Hold on a second. There's a Lexus key in here next to the Audemars. 99 Lexus.
This is worse than we thought.
Right, we gotta get out of here. Seriously, we gotta get out of here because it's tensing up. It's convulsing.
Hey, I want to formally.
Walls are moving.
I want to formally apologize to Paul for any of the
back end. Jefferson, please. Final words. We got to get the hell out of here, man. What's happening?
All right. As we're retreating, I wanted to tell you.
All right. I'll see you later. All right, folks. I got to make exit out of this cavernous, humongous, disgusting, dried up vagina. Are you okay, Jefferson? Are you going to freak out on me and tantrum on me and try to beat me up online again? I just cut you off and let you go. Please don't try to beat me up online again.
All clear. All clear.
All right. All right. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to turn us around. Paul, what is on the way out? Hold on a second. Oh my God. What is that?
They say that I'm evil.
Some kind of creature in here.
All sorts of things about me. They say that I'm poor.
Some kind of reptilian beta male lizard creature with dark eyes.
Green.
Beady.
They're naturally green.
Beady look.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Oh my God. This is why I don't come into these places.
Bye for now.
Like this. It's disgusting. Stay out of it. Stay out of the Liliana Trench. There's reptilian beta male creatures crawling out from every corner of an orifice. Shocking. All right, on the way out. What are we doing on the way out? Paul, unfallible. The word is infallible, but we had to incorporate the unslaved thing in there. Everything is un. Right? So it's all unfallible, which man's entitled to his opinion. He's basically saying I'm incapable of making a mistake. Not short term, long term. I argue that's not true because I started the broadcast. First piece of evidence. You saw how that went. Seriously, I'm out of here. I love you guys. Blessings of understanding. Those are the best kind of blessings that lead to all the other blessings. At least that's my experience. Thank you to the contributors and supporters. You're a blessing to I. And back tomorrow, somewhere between 12 and 5 MDT, barring some act of God and or the state. And more each day, they're becoming one and the same to the average beta male. The state of corporation is the God of this world and whoever and whatever inhabits it. Say goodnight to the bag. I'm out of here.
I'm sure you are, but that's my thing. I'm not trying to give up information.
I just thought you said you were willing to show.
Right. It's important to get every single person and piece of property registered and identified with a state of and a corporate entity. We just gotta do it. It's gotta happen.
Questions like why I do what I do, why I am the person I am, and how you can't see that by coming up to a man and trying to identify him. Like a piece of plastic doesn't identify me. That's not me. I am me.
Why do we all pretend like it's better to exchange little plastic pieces to pretend that that means anything about who I am, that am is, or what I am, that am is, or what it's connected to? Better yet, right? So that is the greatest resource and source of order and co-creation. The little plastic pieces don't do it any justice.
This is like my personal journey.
Dude, it's crazy because if you would have just given me your name,
If you guys would adjust, right? This is your logic. This is the logic of a tyrant, right? This is the logic of a horrible parent. This is the logic of an authoritarian everywhere. If you would have just did everything that we told you and asked you, we wouldn't try to make your life harder and do loss, injury, and harm to you. That is the rallying cry of tyrants everywhere from the beginning of time. Go fuck yourself. You don't get to tell us what we're going to do and be in life. All you teachers, all you parents, all you authoritarians, all you false prophets, you don't get to tell us what we're going to do and be in life at the expense of rolling up your sleeves and doing harm, like the Tao says. You know, all you subjective moralists, all you solipsists, who you and your dogma is the only thing in creation that actually exists that you can confirm.
But say, if I would have just complied, if I would have just done what she wanted, maybe that'd be better for me. Nah, if you would just maybe listen to what I'm saying, maybe it'd be better for you. Maybe, just maybe you're making a mistake. Maybe you shouldn't be doing this to people. Maybe you're like security guard for someone you don't even know. You're a security force for an invisible entity. You're working for, you don't know, you might be working for the devil.
Stop telling other motherfuckers who may be born and may be meant to be here at this time to influence all of us to do better and be better and have better, to just stop and just shut up and just go away. You're ahead of the game. No, fuck that. It's called free expression. It's called getting really real with ourselves and each other. It's called gambling, cosmic gambling on the truth and on faith. You didn't just hear him? You didn't just hear him? He said he's waiting for the day, just like I am, when they actually can show me that they can hurt me.
Just so you know, you should be cooperative in that way. Does that make sense?
But see, we can disagree.
That you have.
To submit, comply, and obey. I don't have a responsibility to submit and comply and obey to you guys. I don't. I have an authority to God, and I have an authority to my spirit. Like, so you guys, it doesn't matter what you guys do. Like I said, you guys could take me to jail. I only get better and level up from this stuff. You guys have never hurt me yet. I'm waiting to see when you guys can hurt me. When you guys take me to jail, when you guys try to do something to hurt me, it never works. You guys never teach me a lesson. You guys are never going to come up to my car and say, and then later on be like, okay, I'm going to give you the ID this time because I went to jail that time. I'm telling you guys, man. And this ain't just about me and my dirty ass in this car. I'm speaking a truth that's beyond me in this fucking car and my goofy presentation.
all right. So, Mr. No Name, we're gonna go with it. And I want you to know what we legally are allowed to do, and then I want to proceed with what we're going to. And today we're gonna serve you by just calling it good as is and leave it alone and hope we don't have any later run-ins. How's that sound?
You guys do, all three of you, like your energy, like I deal with officers in situations like this, and our people do too. Like I mess with your energy. Like, even though you guys, we might not be connected, like you guys could do things to me. Like, even the language, like we could like cause loss, injury, and harm to you, but we're just not going to. That's how it is to me and my people.
It's us enforcing the laws thereof. Yes.
Right, but we as human beings to one another, like we all come from families, we're all brothers and sisters. Right. That's the kind of how I looked at it. Like we don't even get along with our own families a lot. So like, we're at the dinner table and we're having a discussion about something. That's how I look at it. And you guys are saying we can legally do this, we can legally do that, but we got to get back to the spirit of our gut instincts. It doesn't matter what's on all these papers.
You can keep repeating the words and the actions over and over and tell yourself, I'm living. I'm doing it all on my own. I'm doing good.
God of all media.